It's a beautiful day here in McCrae. The temperature is expected to get up in the high 30s, and at the moment the breeze is dying off following an early easterly breeze. So no doubt we'll be sailing across the bay, which will make great viewing off the beach for any spectators. The start line is down to leeward, we call it, which is downwind of the top mark. The fleet starts here with a 5-4-1 go sequence, so 5 minutes, 4 minutes, 1 minute, and then go. We proceed to tack upwind to the top mark, which is buoy number 1, before we then proceed across to buoy 2 and then down through to the gate, which will complete our first lap. So once the fleet gets down to the gate, you can either elect to go out the left side, which is the port side of the course, or the right side, which is the starboard side of the course. So we've got 2 different courses that we can sail. Course 2 is 2 laps, and course 3 is 3 laps. And once all the boats have completed their laps, then they proceed around the starboard gate mark and across to the finish line at the completion of their race. And so that's what racing consists of out there on the water. Today we've got 2 races planned. There's going to be 37 boats on the fleet today, and we're looking at roughly about a 10-knot breeze for the racing. So things are going to get interesting. It's going to be light conditions, and so that will mean very close racing throughout the fleet. Okay, so we're here at the start of the first race of the iSail B14 World Championships. As you can see, the fleet's racked up fairly heavily at the boat end of the line, and there's quite a big sag there, so one of the boats could have been a bit closer on that start. On board here with Alan Davis and Kathy Watts. They're flying along here. As you can see, Alan is the skipper of the boat, and he's steering and also controlling the mainsail, which is the big one you'll see at the back on GBR2 there. Here we are at the top mark, rounding in second place there. It's Guy Bancroft, followed fairly closely by Bonework. As you can see, a lot of the boats are sagging towards the top mark, so there's quite a lot of tide action as you head towards the shore, so that makes for interesting sailing. Here we are, we're on board with Steve Mitchell and Adrian Daly on Bondi Tram. And back to Alan Davis with New Watts. As you can see there, Alan's hiking hard with Kathy hiking off the what appears to be the boom vent, and that's just really to try and keep the boat as flat and as fast as possible. It's moving along quite well, so you can see Alan's got some really good pace there. Alright, and they're going around the mark for a hoist, followed closely by Cromitty Engineering, and as you can see there, the Cromitty Engineering spinnaker does go up very quickly, and they're certainly using the rules to their full potential, and they've put in what we call a 2-to-1 halyard, so that means that they can get their spinnaker up to the top of the mast twice as quick as any other boat in the fleet, so that's innovation. We're still up at the top mark here. As you can see, there's a number of boats. What they're doing here is the blue marker there is the second mark at the top of the course. So the boats are rounding there and hoisting fast with their spinnakers. You'll notice that a lot of the boats are actually heading left once they go around the blue mark, and that's again to try and continue to make the most of that lee shore and take the most out of the tidal influence there. Here's a Yellowbone, sailed by Anthony House, or skippered by Anthony House, and they're just coming up to the top mark there for the first time, rounding just behind Wing It, sailed by Freya Vickery. And it looks like we're down the bottom of the course now, and incoming is GBR 785. Looks like they're coming in for a drop. As you can see, the crew pulls the tack line off, and then they pull the spinnaker in. Got a number of boats coming down here, tight on the mark. As you can see here, there's 3 all coming in close succession, so it'll be very close and quite tough to come around the mark there. See the first boat there rounding right on the mark, and a number of the boats are really trying to get their kites down before heading back upwind for a second time. Sirens come in deep there, as you can see, and they're really trying to get their kite back in the bag. They've done really well, and Dave Grace on the front there is certainly a very, very good crew on board with Nick Darlow. You'll notice in this light air, the boats are able to drop their spinnakers much closer to the bottom mark than in the stronger breezes. You would have noticed throughout the race, the boats are doing anywhere from about 4 to 8 knots. In the stronger breezes, which we're expecting tomorrow, the boats can do up to 25 plus knots. So it's going to be very, very fast racing tomorrow if we get out on the water. So there's a lot of the heavy crews are really looking forward to that. The temperature was pretty high today. It's probably about 5,000 beachgoers all around the front of the yacht club. It's as you can see, it's a beautiful blue sky summer's day, and it's a really, really nice little land breeze that we're using here for our sailing. Here we are back on board with Steve Mitchell and Adrian Daly on Bondi Tram. You can see that they're actually progressing really well on Wing It, who is right in front. And it looks like we're right at the bottom mark here on the last lap. You'll see there that all the boats are holding their spinnaker, so this is their final jibe, and then across to the finish line. So they're flying along there, and they're getting some really good pace up. As you see there, the Cromarty engineering team, they're right out on the wing and trying to keep the boat flat, because they're really tight and close hauled, which we call it, tight reaching, and that's going across to the finish line. So here we go, we've got Guy Bancroft on screen, just heading to the finish line there. You see the finish boat just in front, and he's just gone across the line for first place. As you can see there, we've got Oz 375 crossing the line in second, followed by GBR 788, and they've come in nicely, and you see they're both on the wing hiking hard to try and make the line with their spinnaker up. 792 wearing red armbands. This is in honour of Stuart and all his family as they're going through a really hard time.
Alright, so the breeze is held in nicely. We've got a fairly consistent, about 6 to 8 knots on the water. Racing's been tight in race 1 of the iSail B14 World Championships, and I think it'd be fair to say that the competitors are looking forward to the second race. The light weather crews have certainly come to the front of the fleet today, and no doubt that trend will continue into race 2.
Thank you, Adrian.
Questions? Yes.
How'd you go?
We had an interesting race.
Interesting. Okay,
Yeah. We lost a few places downwind the first lap, gained a few upwind, and then downwind the second lap. So.
Which way did you go? Did you go left or right?
We went hard at the beach. Yeah, tacked up the shoreline and gained a few spots.
Was that trying to get out of the tide?
Well, it was using the tide, absolutely. You can tell as soon as you get in there, you can feel the rip actually dragging the back end of the boat, so you can point about 15 degrees, 20 degrees higher.
So that's a significant benefit up the race course. But we're still learning the local track from down from Tassie, so
Okay.
certainly a bit different sailing close to the shore, very similar to river racing.
And certainly getting such a clean start on the first go with the help of the tide, that was a big factor, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it was great actually not having to have a black flag start, unlike we did at the National Championships. So that made a really big difference, I think, to give the fleet a bit less of a nervous start, should we say.
Yeah. Rudy, well, thanks very much and good luck with your next race.
Thank you.